Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my bookish world. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be doing my May wrap up. Yeah. So I read 10 books this month or last month, which I was not expecting. I definitely thought I would probably read a little bit less, especially since I didn't get through all the books that I was planning on reading last month. But 10 books is pretty great. That's tied for my second greatest reading month, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'll get into it. Sorry if this is a little bit rushed. I really need a shower because I work in the morning, but wanted to get this film so I could upload it while I'm at work tomorrow, and definitely just rushed to do my makeup even though I'm literally going to be taking a shower in like 10 minutes, but it's fine. Anything for booktube. And hopefully my family doesn't hear me because I'm right underneath their room. If they do, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm talking to one of my friends on the phone. So yeah, so let's get to it. So the first book, I believe I actually started in April and I finished in the beginning of May, and that is 10 Truths and a Dare by, oh crap, what's her name? Ashley Polston? No, Ashley Elston? She's the same author of 10 Blind Dates, and this was kind of like a companion sequel. So this book followed the cousin of the main character from the first book, Olivia, and how her parents are gone for like a week or something, and she has a bunch of grad parties, but something happens with her high school graduation, so she has to like have her like family members take her phone and pretend like she's at these things while she's doing something else, so that way her family won't find out about it. I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was really cute. It's such an adorable little contemporary YA contemporary. I'm not gonna say it was like the best thing I've ever read, but like overall it was really good, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you just need something light and fluffy. And I believe it came out like May 4th or something like that, so it's out. Read it. It was really good. The next book I read was To Be Honest. I should have grabbed my laptop because I don't remember who wrote any of these books. I believe this was like Maggie Martin or something like that. I'll put the name below because apparently I don't know things. But basically this is about a girl who is fat. She is self-described as fat. Her older sister, she's really close with her older sister, but her older sister is going to college, and so she kind of has to deal with her mother and her mother's like obsessiveness with weight loss and trying to get her on it. But there's like a little bit of a romance, and it's really not even just a romance. There's a friendship, a really great, I'm getting this mixed up with pudding. No, okay. There's a really cute romance. And I really enjoyed that. I will say that, like, I know I've seen some, reviews saying that, like, the fat rep wasn't amazing. So I gave it, like, 3.5 stars. I still think it was good, still recommend it, but, just keep that in mind that, like, the fat rep might not be as good as, you know, some people don't think the fat rep is amazing. The next book I read was Aisha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin. I might have messed that up. I am very sorry. But this is actually like, I believe, an adult romance. I originally thought that it was YA. Don't ask why. But this follows a girl named Aisha who is, actually this book takes place in Toronto, Canada, which I thought was kind of cool. But it follows this girl named Aisha who is living in Toronto, and she's kind of like, she's Muslim, she's a practicing Muslim, and it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but anyway, Aisha is very feminist, and not as traditional as some people are in the book, and basically she meets this guy who is like super traditional Muslim, and also practices, and they kind of have this rivals to like friends to lovers romance, but there's a whole lot of miscommunication in there because, of course, there is, and it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling. I gave this book 3 stars. I found it enjoyable, but it definitely was not something that, like, I would reread in the future. I think it's really cute. I don't know. There's just something about it. Maybe it's because I don't like Pride and Prejudice that bothered me. I still don't really know, but I do recommend it, especially just because it really does highlight the different facets of Islam and the traditional and the non-traditional. And it does it in a very positive way, I think. But I also check out the reviews from actual Muslim reviewers, because I don't know if they have the same feelings as I do. I thought it did it in a very positive way. It talked a lot about arranged marriages, which, depending on your worldview, obviously Western society frowns on that, but it was interesting to learn more about how arranged marriage kind of fits into the culture. The next book I read was Can't Escape Love by, what's her name? Alyssa Cole. So this is like book 3.5 or something like that of the, or 2.5, I guess. 2.5 or something like that of the Reluctant Royal series. So the first book, Princess in Theory, and then A Duke by Default, and then whatever the next one is. Let me see if I can find the name of it. One's Ghosted Twice Shy, and then this one, and then the next one is A Prince on Paper, which I'll hopefully read this month. But this follows the sister of the main character in A Duke by Default, and she is disabled. She is in a wheelchair, and the main love interest is Asian, which I thought was pretty cool, as that's not something that I see very often. But it's a cute, like, little geeky romance, and I just thought it was really cute. I don't have much to say because it was like a novella. But yeah, I really recommend it. I gave it I don't have a rating, but I think I gave it a 4 stars. So I just really recommend this series. It's such a good series, and I can't wait to read the last book and hopefully start on her new series and then her thriller sometime soon because I love her. Okay, and the next I read Poems for the End of the World by Katie Wismer. So this is just a little poetry book. I read this in like less than an hour. I also gave it 4 stars. I think this does a really good job of the issues that it deals with, although I will read off some of the sensitive material. So it contains sensitive materials relating to eating disorders, depression, anxiety, terminal illness, chronic illness, sexual assault, gun violence, trauma, abuse, and more. So do keep that in mind, but I do think that it was well done, and I think there were things that I related to while also things that I didn't, but helped me understand. I do really like Katie's work, so I will definitely be reading more from her, but I really enjoyed this, so I recommend it. And then because it was Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I wanted to read some books. I had already like 2 books on my TBR by Asian Pacific Islander authors, but I wanted to read more. So the one that I put on here that I just randomly decided to pick up was A Pho Love Story by Lone Lee. Now I am not going to say the characters' names because I will not pronounce them, and honestly I don't remember because that was like 4 books ago. But basically this follows it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but like no death, because yeah. But anyway, it follows these 2 characters, a boy and a girl, whose families own rival Vietnamese restaurants, and through the feud, they start hanging out, they start having feelings for each other, but obviously they're still dealing with the fact that their families are rivals. And not only that, but they're dealing with a lot of struggles within their family, specifically trying to figure out what they want to do after high school and kind of figuring out themselves. And I really enjoy that aspect. I think it does a really great job of also kind of talking about Vietnamese culture, which is not something that I know much about. And I definitely recommend it. I think it was very cute. I did only give it a 3.5 stars, just because it was a little slow for me at times, but I still really enjoyed it, and I do recommend it. And then the next book that I read was actually a very fast read, which I was excited about, and that was Meet Cute Diary by Emery V. So this book follows a boy named Noah, a boy named Noah who is trans and is in Denver, Colorado for the summer with his older brother. And he has recently just come out as trans, and he's moving from like Miami, Florida to California, but he's staying with his brother first. And he runs this blog called the Meet Cute Diary where he tells stories of different trans meet cutes. And they're all fiction, but people don't know that. And so when a troll starts attacking his blog, he enters into a fake dating relationship. And I can't remember the love interest name because he kind of sucks. But yeah. And we also have another character who is non-binary and uses neopronouns, which the author Emery Lee does as well, which is not something that I know a lot about, but I thought it was really interesting. I did only give this book a 3.5 stars, not because I didn't enjoy the romance or anything. There's something about it, that wasn't quite a 4 stars. I think the romance just moved super, super fast, and I wasn't really expecting it, and I felt like the pacing was off in some places, and that was really my only issue with it. I really liked the story, I really liked the characters, and I liked the ending. It was just, I don't know, something that made me not love it as much as I wanted it to. But yeah, so the next book that I read was The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren, which was kind of a recent release. I believe this came out at the beginning of May, maybe? But I gave this book 4 stars, which is super exciting because I didn't have a ton of 4 stars this month, which makes me sad. But this book follows a girl. I also can't remember the name of it. I think Jessica or Jess. Jess. And she is a single mom who is very into stats. I can't say that word, sorry. And so she decides that she is like putting off men right now because she just had a lot of bad experiences. And then she meets this business guy who is developing a dating app that has to do with like DNA. And so she decides to sign up out of having a bad day. And she gets matched with the company CEO. They have a 98% match, which is the highest match this company has ever had. And this starts their whirlwind romance to kind of give publicity to the app that is going to be launching in a few months. And I really enjoyed this. I was going into it with low expectations because I know people haven't been loving Christina Lauren as much lately. But I really loved this. And I really liked the relationship. I loved the family aspects and the friend aspects. I loved her daughter, Juno. And it was just so good. And I can't wait to catch up on more Christina Lauren books because it gave me that fuzzy feeling, I love that fuzzy feeling. And then I read 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, which I literally finished like within an hour, 2 hours maybe. Yeah, within like 2 or 3 hours of May. And this is a book of short stories, and I was reading it throughout the month of May. I had a little pause because I was waiting for an ebook copy to come in from the library. But anyway, this book is full of 15 different short stories by different Asian Pacific Islander authors. And basically, this book is all about these authors taking folktales and myths from their childhood and reworking them, and you also get like kind of a backstory on where these came from, why they decided to do this, what culture they're from, and I really enjoyed it. I did only give it like a 3.5 stars. Not that I enjoyed it, there were some stories that were better than others, but now I have a list of authors that I can look up, and that's exciting. So yes. And then the last book that I read, I technically finished on June 1st, but I am counting it because I finished it very early in the morning. And that was Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. Now, I really thought I was going to love this book, and to be fair, I did like it, but I only gave it 3.5 stars. I felt like it was longer than it needed to be, which isn't just, like, a horribly bad thing. But basically, this book follows Pepper and Jack, whose, their parents both run food company, like, they run restaurants, and Pepper's mother, company makes this grilled cheese sandwich that seems to be a direct copy from Jack's. And so that starts a Twitter feud, but they also are like texting on this anonymous app and don't realize that it's them. So they're it's like rivals to friends to lovers, and it's very good. But it was like, what? Just a little. It was okay. It was 358 pages, which isn't that long, I'll be real. But for whatever reason, it seemed so damn long. And like, I don't know. I just felt like it could have been wrapped up sooner. I felt like it was drawn out. And that's really the only issue that I had with it. Otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I feel like if it would have been shorter, it probably would have been a 4 stars. But I am going to pick up You Have a Match by Emma Lord because this was her debut. So I'm hoping her books will get better, obviously, as she learns and grows. But yeah, that's it for my May wrap up. I read 10 books, which is exciting. I'm hoping I can maybe not read as much as that, but like I'd like to. It'd be nice. But yeah, because I have a lot of books I want to read this month too. So yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow my social media down below. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.